Hey everyone, I wanted to hop on here one last time. Just because it's the last week of the semester, I think it's important to kind of do a quick update. First of all, I just want to say I'm really impressed. I finally was able to catch up on grading. Everything through week 6 is now up on Blackboard. So that said, if you are missing any grades, if you're there and you see a 0 and you've turned in an assignment, please get to me as quickly as possible. I went through Blackboard. I went through my emails, but there's still a possibility that I may have missed something. And if you just haven't turned an assignment in, please reach out to me as soon as possible so we can see if we can figure something out. But yes, everything is upgraded, or updated, I should say. And I will have week 7 and week 8 in as quickly as possible. That way you know exactly what grade you have heading into the final paper. In terms of the final paper, actually before I go into that, I also wanted to say those mid-semester assignments were fantastic. You all absolutely blew me away, both in terms of the questions you asked your interviewers, the leadership profiles a lot of you all wrote, and the leadership demonstrations. I mean, I was just really impressed with the work that you all turned in for those mid-semester assignments. I was really happy that it was almost like an equal divide in terms of students that chose to do either the demonstration, the profile, or the interview. So kudos to you all for how well you did on those. And lastly, the thing I wanted to talk about in terms of the final paper. So I had a student reach out and ask if there was a sample paper I could provide. So what I did, and if you've taken leadership communication with me, you've seen the sample paper before. But where I picked up the format for the paper, the kind of 3 parts, was from a mentor of mine during my undergraduate, during my bachelor's. And a paper I wrote for her during my undergraduate, and I wrote it as like my first academic conference paper, and it was I wrote it in preparation for grad school, using that format. So what I did is I uploaded that into the resources folder. It is not a sports related topic, but it does follow that format, and you can easily see the first part being theory, the second part being the artifact, and in this case for this course, that second part would be either an athlete, a coach, a whole organization, a team. It is completely up to you on what you want to use for the second part of that paper. And then the third part where you kind of use examples from that team or athlete or coach to make sense of the theory. So first part, you're only talking about your theory or the strategy, whatever you're pulling from the textbook. Second part, all you're doing is talking about that athlete or coach or organization. And then the last part is where you kind of combine the two. What I do want to move you all away from, because I've seen some folks in the past kind of have this issue, is they use the first part of the paper, they kind of take it as like it's a blog where they're talking about things that they liked about the semester or some of their big takeaways. That is not what we're doing here at all. I like using this format because it's as close as we can get to an academic paper in the short time frame that we have in these accelerated 8 weeks. So typically in an academic paper, you're making some sort of argument. So here, your overall argument that everyone is making is that this team, leader, coach, organization, whatever it is in that second part of your paper, is an example of this particular theory. Either how it could have been used to fix whatever they messed up, or how that person or organization is a good example of that theory being successful, or that strategy being successful. So, first part of that paper, you're only talking about actual theory. You're explaining it to us, I'm talking about me, the reader, in that first part of the paper. Second part of the paper, you just talk about the team or the athlete or the coach. And then in that last part is where you make that argument by showing examples from that athlete or coach or organization and making that connection between that person or that entity and the theory or strategy from the first part of your paper. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please don't hit me up on Saturday night asking me if I could look over your entire paper, because it's going to be way too much work by then. But if you have any questions, feel free to text me or email me. I will let you know that on Tuesday I will not be in my office. Most likely will be in my office, but I'll be there late. I have a doctor's appointment I can't get out of. And it's at 1:00, and I'm going to be driving from the east side, so I'll be late, but I will still be on my phone on Skype and as soon as I'm available and out of that meeting, I'll also get on Zoom. So, but outside of that, just make sure you reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. But yes, that's the way the final paper should go. But yeah, I just wanted to, again, congratulate you all on hitting the end of the semester. Again, if you have questions, please reach out to me. And I also want to let you all know, because I've had a few of you in my class before, and I usually get a chance to do this in my in-person courses, but I want to make sure I reach out to you as well. You all have my information. You have my email, my phone number. Just because you're done with me in this class does not mean you don't have access to me anymore. If you have questions or anything in the future, please don't hesitate to reach out. I am more than willing to email you, text you, meet up with you, whatever it might be. If you have any questions, concerns, or if you just want to catch up. So please know that I'm still a resource available to you all. So good luck with my class and the other courses that you're taking. I hope you all have a great end of your semester and a great winter break.